You found The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. We're on chapter 96, and we've just been waiting for you to come, leaving your burdens outside the door. Enter, take your seat, you know where it is by now, and we wanted to tell you again how welcome you are. As long as you brought your good heart and good intentions with you, you're our special guest. This will take less than probably 8 minutes. This is chapter 96 of a story that I wrote. All rights to both the original book and to my presentation of it are reserved. Here we go, chapter 96, Canada's Couturier. Philippe's parents drove him to the airport. They adored Aki, and there were hearty handshakes and thank yous when Aki and Bertie arrived. Philippe's mother's eyes widened when she saw Bertie's condition, and she told Bertie, "I was going to ask you to take care of my son, but it appears that you need someone to take care of you." "Don't worry, Madame de Patou. I can still run circles around this guy. When Philippe returns at the end of the summer, I will be fully healed and I will be on the job." "Don't worry, Mama. I'll take care of them all," Philippe advised. It wasn't long before it was time to board, and Philippe sat against the window as Uncle Aki had directed, so that he could see whatever there was to see at any point in time. Aki took the middle seat, leaving the aisle seat for Bertie, who was known to sprawl. Bertie whispered to the group, "If you want anything from the steward, just ask me. They're always kind to me, and I know that now that I'm injured, it will be even better." Soon they were airborne and headed westward. Bertie was right. He did get a lot of attention from the stewards. One who came up from serving in the rear section of the plane stopped and looked at him with wide eyes. "Hans?" she asked. "No, my name's Bertie. Bertie Saint Laurent. But it's nice to meet you." "What's your name?" She shook her head as though to clear cobwebs, or perhaps memories, and she responded, "Of course not. You're far too young. Nice to meet you, Monsieur Saint Laurent. I must be getting back to my section." And she almost ran down the aisle. Bertie just shrugged and said, "You can't win 'em all, I guess," but she was cute. And then he pulled down his eye mask, snuggled under his blanket, adjusting his pillow, and he went off to sleep. Philippe and Aki exchanged glances and said nothing more. They too tried to sleep. And then, before they knew it, they felt the plane descending toward the runway. Between exiting the airplane and making it into the tunnel, Aki and Philippe gained the look of condemned men. They had never experienced such cold. It was so cold that it was frightening. They could feel their toes burning through their fine leather shoes. The wind bit right through their fashionable coats and leather gloves. They wondered how people survived here. And then they were inside, where they were met by Colette and Oscar soon after they got through customs with their luggage. Colette and Oscar ran to Bertie, who pretended to be stoic about his injuries. That is very hard to accomplish when your parents are standing there horrified by your residual injuries. After another round of inspecting Bertie, they turned to Aki and Philippe, who still had the look of slight distress on their faces. Colette laughed as she remembered the packages. "Thank you, Marie," she almost yodeled as she pushed the packages in the direction of first Aki and then Philippe. "This is a welcome to Canada present." "I've never heard of this custom," said Philippe. "I have nothing for you." "This is a new custom, Philippe. It's called Save Your Friends from Freezing custom," she joked. The boxes revealed down-filled parkas. In another box, for each of them, there were pairs of warm boots, gloves, and scarves. "It's a survival kit," Bertie said. "Well done." "These are really nice," said Philippe. "How did you know my size?" "Oh, Philippe, Marie looked into your coat when she handed it to you at the penthouse. But the truth is that this sort of outerwear is not exactly form-fitting. You just need it big enough to cover all the essentials. Of course they're nice. They come from one of Canada's finest couturier shops, Canadian Tire. Bertie, Colette, and Oscar bent double at that joke, and Philippe and Aki had no idea why. I'll explain it to you later. For now, though, put it all on. We have to get out to the car, and it takes a while for the car to warm up, said Bertie. Before they left France, Oscar had called Aki. Aki, we're family now, so you just must speak plainly. We do not quite know what the right thing to do here is. We want you to stay with us, but we know that it's not what you and Philippe are used to. There's no sense in beating around the bush about it. We have an apartment in this building that is fully furnished, just a couple stories down from our apartment. It's empty at the moment, but it's not deluxe. If you and Philippe would prefer to stay in a hotel, we promise that we won't be offended. Just say the word and we'll never discuss it again. Oscar, you must not feel obligated to provide accommodation for us. But if the apartment is available, I would far rather pay you for our accommodation than I'll go to a hotel. That's just ridiculous, Aki. The apartment is yours for as long as you wish to stay. You will offend us if you try to pay. That's final. They arrived on Friday morning, and they had to fly out again on Sunday night. The time was far too short. They strove valiantly to fill every minute. When they got back to the apartment building, they put Aki and Philippe's luggage into the apartment, and they kept climbing to the third floor where Colette and Oscar lived. Marie's room was as it had always been, and Bertie flopped down onto his own bed. Colette had outdone herself, and there was a breakfast feast that would have rivaled a sugar shack breakfast. Oscar rousted Bertie from his bed to come and eat. That's the end of chapter 96. They're in Canada for a visit, a very short visit, and they are dealing with the Canadian winter cold. We're really glad you're here. We hope you're toasty, warm, and comfy. And we hope you'll come back for chapter 97. That's called The Tour. Until I see you again, I remain your friend Deborah.